If you're new to the franchise or only a fan of the movies, you would probably be surprised to know that the species of the predator, or also known as the yautja, has a very long and rich history of hunts on Earth, hunting humans and other dangerous prey. From the ancient times to the medieval, to the age of empires and even until the modern era, these hunters have always been active. They have given rise to multiple legends and myths. And so here in this video, we will showcase the entire history of the predators on Earth in a timeline. Let's get to it. Beginning with prehistoric times, we first land in the Cretaceous period. So during the movie The Predators of 2010, Edwin, that killer doctor, identifies a neurotoxic plant as Archaeophroctus leoningensis, which has actually been extinct since the Cretaceous period. This, as well as the Triceratops skull and the T-Rex skull in the Predator's trophy room, suggests that they have been active for millions of years on Earth. Then, fast forwarding to 2996 BC, the yautja arrive on Earth, teaching humans to build pyramids and being worshipped as gods. An ancient civilization beneath Bove Island, which is located in Antarctica, thrives under the guidance of the yautja. Then in 2896 BC, after 100 years, the yautja initiate the centennial hunting rituals, using humans as hosts for the xenomorphs to hunt as a rite of passage. If they are overwhelmed, they activate self-destruct mechanisms, which leads to the destruction of some early human civilizations, including the one in Bove Island. Then 2000 BC, seen in the AVP novel, the book contains a completely new opening. This one was set in northern Cambodia in 2000 BC. Their yautja hunting expedition goes wrong when xenomorphs multiply uncontrollably, and just as with the others, the yautja eliminate all traces of the infestation with their self-destruct devices. Now coming to the medieval age and the early imperial age, in 1000 AD, around that time, a massive predator conducts a hunt on the Vikings there, as will be seen in the anthology movie Predator Killer of Killers. Then around 300 years later, Li Yat-sen in China witnesses the crash of a yautja ship after he was expelled from his village. He would then end up using predator technology to extend his lifespan and would live on for 700 years. Then between 1600 and 1800 AD, a predator would conduct a hunt on a samurai clan and a ninja in Japan during the Edo period, as will be seen in the anthology movie Predator Killer of Killers. Then sometime between 1700 and 1709 AD, in Japan, Shogun Tokugawa Tsuneyoshi, his forces face a yautja attack, which culminates in a duel between a yautja and a blind swordsman. Of course the yautja won, but the story ended with a prophecy of a future rematch between that predator and another swordsman. In 1718 AD, pirate captain Raffaele Adolini battles his mutinous crew with the aid of a yautja, one that would be later called Greyback. In the story, the pirate captain gifted his flintlock pistol engraved with Raffaele Adolini in 1715 to Greyback before dying. Then 1719 AD, a year later, in the northern Great Plains, a Comanche woman called Naru and her group of hunters were being hunted by a yautja, the feral predator, and with sheer knowledge of the terrain, assistance from a plant that reduced body temperature and life signs, she manages to lure the predator into a trap and killed it with its own weapons. Now heading on to the 19th century, in the mid-1800s, a predator called Shaman hunts the indigenous tribes of North America using only his wits, his crude tools and weapons, and discarding its advanced technology. This predator will later be seen alongside Greyback at the end of the Los Angeles incident. In 1683 AD, a bunch of Union and Confederate soldiers in the Ozark Mountains set their petty differences aside to unite and combat a yautja that was drawn in by the American Civil War. In 1881 AD, in Bengal, India, a yautja hunts villagers and British troops, which gives rise to the legend of the Rakshasa, a Hindu demon. In 1896, the same yautja from India travels and hunts in London, in England, inspiring the legend of the Spring-Heeled Jack. It is here that a person called Captain Edward Soames, employed by the Diogenes Club led by Mycroft Holmes, the brother of Sherlock Holmes, confronts it. Now heading on to the 20th century, at Bovetoya, Antarctica in 1904, a whaling ship encounters a yautja and xenomorphs leading to their demise. The survivor called Carl Johansson witnesses a Yaoja fighting that xenomorph before succumbing to hypothermia. In 1914 AD, during World War I in France, the Yaoja were attracted to the massacres and battles there. This is a common theme for the predators to be attracted to where large-scale conflict arises on Earth. In 1936, Yaoja hunts railway workers in the Serengeti Plains in Africa. He was mistaken for a killer lion, and a human hunter as well as local game wardens were sent in to deal with it. This gave rise to the legend of the Dudu Ya Porini. Between 1939 and 1945, in the Lelanganati Mountains in Ecuador, South America, during the timeline of World War II, a Nazi commandant and his team encounters a Yaoja during their quest for some Incan gold. Between 1944 and 1945, somewhere there, a predator would combat World War II era fighter planes over the skies of Europe, as will be seen in the Predator Killer of Killers anthology movie. Then in 1968, during the Vietnam War, a Yaoja would be seen hunting, leading to the South Vietnamese soldier and officers being accused of a massacre actually being caused by the predator. Then in 1987, in Guatemala, a Yaoja later known as the Jungle Hunter hunts Major Alan Dutch Schaefer and his elite mercenary team. This is the event of the original Predator movie where Dutch ultimately defeats it using ingenious traps and with a great deal of luck. Then in the summer of 1988 AD, a Yaoja returns to Oregon in Fleener Creek after a gap of 30 years and during an intense heat wave, facing convicted murderers and others. The incident is partially covered up by the CIA and the FBI. A year later, in the summer of 1989, in New York City, Detective John Schaefer, who was Dutch's brother, confronts a Yaoja amidst a heat wave and a drug war. The military officer in charge of the operations dealing with the predators is Major General Phillips from the Guatemala incident, and Detective Schaefer fights another Yaoja in Guatemala in the same year. In 1990 AD, a predator ship crashes in Siberia. Major General Phillips sends an undercover US military team led by himself and Detective Schaefer to recover it. And then in Chicago in the same year, a Yaoja hunts rival gang leaders, with mercenary cross and US intelligence agents being caught in the crossfire, the ones that were sent to investigate the incident. In the summer of 1991, in the Cibola County of New Mexico, a Yaoja attacks the Cole Army base there and the surrounding areas. A detachment was sent to deal with the predator and ended up in a final clash in a volcanic region called El Mafias. A year later in 1992, a bunch of predator activities reported around the world, with one in Arizona engaging a government task force, another in Nicaragua, and also one in Japan where a Yaoja faces off against another blind swordsman, thus fulfilling a 300-year-old prophecy. In the summer of 1997, in Los Angeles, a Yaoja hunts gang members during a heat wave. Here, Lieutenant Harrigan confronts it and ultimately kills it, and then receives the Raphael Adolini flintlock pistol from the Golden Angel Yaoja, also known as Greyback. Then 2 years later in 1999, in Yellowstone National Park, a naturalist, Maya Bergstrom, and others encounter 3 rogue Yaoja who were out there breaking the predator code of honor and were killing for fun. These were in turn hunted by an elder predator who was said to be 1,000 years old. Then coming to the 21st century, in October 2004, the events of Alien vs Predator unfold in Antarctica, followed by Aliens vs Predator Requiem in Gunnison, Colorado. In Antarctica, the xenomorphs and their queen are reawakened, and after the incident there was neutralized, a Predalien emerged from an infected Yaoja in their spaceship and crash lands in Colorado, which led to an infestation there and eventually a nuking of the area. In 2007, in Iraq, a US Army unit encounters a fierce fight between a Yaoja and a xenomorph, and then later on, the Wayland Industries comes in and covers up the incident. In 2009, in Africa, paramilitary specialists face off against a group of deadly Yaoja from the Killer Clan, who are themselves hunted by a traditional Yaoja. A year later, in 2010, 8 individuals are abducted from Earth and are sent to an alien game reserve planet where they are hunted by super predators. Although the main story is set in an alien world, the fact that the people there were abducted from Earth during that time suggests a constant Yaoja presence even in the 21st century. And we finally end in 2018. Here a predator spaceship crashes in Mexico carrying with it a fugitive hybrid predator, which was chased by an even larger assassin or upgrade predator. Then Army sniper Quinn McKenna's son activates Predator technology there and starts a three-way fight with the Yautja. And since we now live in 2025, and the next Predator event would be only in 2030 when Scarface would face off against the Borgia Mafia once again, we can thus conclude the history and timeline of the Predator hunts on Earth. Now if you like this video, then watch this other one too, the one in the end screen, and do check out our channel for other Predator content, the ones we haven't seen before. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, fam.